Scottails. Oh. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Scottails. My name is Scott Hostetler. You know, a guy walks into a bar. You think he would have seen it. Now, many of you have been asking me about where did the origination of the term cocktail come from? Well, we know where the origination of the term Scottails came from. That was back in 2020 in Huntington Beach, California at the Corner Restaurant. Marketing genius Chuck McCants came up with Scottails. But where did the other one come from? Cocktail's origin is a little bit foggier. Now, there are a lot of theories, but today we're going to talk about the most popular. Now, the first print version definition of cocktails came from a Hudson, New York newspaper in May 1806. The Balance and Columbian Repository, and it defined a cocktail as a stimulating liquor composed of spirits of any kind, sugar, water, and bitters. It is vulgarly called a bitter sling and is supposed to be an excellent electioneering potion inasmuch as it renders the heart stout and bold and at the same time befuddles the head. But how did the term originally come to reference a mixed drink? Well, it had nothing to do with a rooster, but it could have to do with a horse. Journalist and writer H.L. Mencken quoted, "No one ever went broke underestimating the taste of the American public." Well, I agree with that, but he did a lot of extensive research in the Roaring Twenties about the origin of the term cocktail. And he liked the theory that during the colonial times, tavern keepers stored their spirits in a cask. And when the cask was near empty, the tailings, as they were called, would be mixed together in one cask and sold cheaper. It was poured from a spigot or cock, so the patrons who wanted to drink cheaply would then ask for the cock tailings. Another theory takes us down to New Orleans, where an apothecary called Péchon, I think it's Péchon if you can drink, because I mispronounced a French word, the famous bitters, they're still making bitters. They had a brandy drink that they served in a French egg cup known as a cocktail. Now, guests shortened the name to cocktail and then possibly to cocktail. In 1936, a British publication called Bartender told the tale long ago about English sailors drinking mixed drinks in a tavern in Mexico. The drinks were stirred with a fine, slender, and smooth root that, because of its shape, was called a colla de gallo, which in English means cock's tail. That's about as close as a rooster gets to it. Another theory takes us back to old Victorian England, where the term cocktails was in reference to women of easy virtue. They were impure women, but they were desirable but impure, kind of like a cocktail, not the straight spirit, but mixed, making it impure. You know, a pastor was talking to his congregation, and he asked them, "What is the opposite of joy?" And the congregation answered, "Sadness." And he says, "That's correct. Now tell me, what is the opposite of depression?" The congregation thought, and then they said, "Elation." He says, "That's right." And the pastor said, "What is the opposite of woe?" And a cowboy stepped up and says, "Yeah, I believe that's giddy up." Author David Wondrich had another theory, and he decided that a perky or cocked tail on a horse was a sign of vim and vigor. Now, unscrupulous horse traders in the 1700s would put ginger or pepper in a place where the horse surely wouldn't want it in order to make them look more frisky. I'm sure that worked. Ginger and pepper were common components to make booze more drinkable and were later replaced by bitters. So there you have it. Which one seems more plausible to you? The cocktailed horses? The cask of cocktailings? The French egg cup or cocktail? The Mexican swizzle stick? The desirable but impure women? Or the spicy suppository? Well, I can tell you which one I prefer. I prefer women of easy virtue.
Yes!
Oh, no, okay, I get it. I know what okay, no, what I mean to say is I favor impure women. Uh, no, what I mean is if I had to choose, I would choose impure women. No, all right, I'll just take the spicy suppository. You know, you give a man a duck and he eats for a day. You teach a man to duck and he doesn't walk into a bar. Leave your favorites in the comments section and remember to drink up because it's almost closing time somewhere.